All right, everybody, welcome back to 18 Outdoors. Guess what? It's daggum like August 8th, 95 degrees, but the rat's sitting over there.
Hey, everybody.
She wanted to go looking around, and I did too. What we're doing is, late summer scouting. Perfect time to drive around and see if any cutting has been going on and see what the woods kind of look like and go do some spot checks on some trees and stuff. Kind of, we got binoculars with us. We're going to get an idea of what some acorns look like. And we're also, again, we're looking at some cuts that have been going on this year. We're going to check out some cuts that are fresh. Also, we're going to look at some cuts that were done last year and year before last, just seeing how they are in the stages. And we're also going to drive some dirt roads and look for some fresh tracks and kind of, for early season, we hunt kind of outside of the box, and we kind of try to find a buck that's not in our normal hunting areas and try to, give him a day or two shot. And me and her are going to do a little bit different this year. We're going to hunt pretty close together in certain times in situations when we find a buck track and kind of like tag team it for like 2 days and then go on and do something else until it gets close to the pre-rut. So we're just going to, do things a little bit different. We enjoy it, and we don't want to get caught up doing something over and over again and not, having, decent amount of success. Last year we didn't have much luck early season, and we don't. Sometimes it's just tough, and we're targeting bigger bucks, and we don't really worry about does, so that makes it tougher. So she's over there trying to hold out for a 160. So we're trying.
I told him I'm overdue.
She is overdue. So anyway, so we pulled over to a spot, found a cut that was done like during turkey season. We're gonna walk, look at it, then we'll try to show y'all a few things. We got binoculars, and we're gonna try to get a check on some acorns and just see what's going on. But there's plenty of green. We've had some dry spells this year, but we had so much rain during the spring that everything took off, and we didn't have any late cold spells, so everything took off. Hopefully the rain wasn't so much that it interfered with the pollination of the oak trees. So we're gonna look at that. So anyway, let's get out and look. It's 90 right now at 5 o'clock. So we're gonna get
warm.
Pretty warm. So anyway, we'll see y'all here in a little bit. All right, y'all. As y'all can see, pretty green out here. So, which is nice, real good for the deer. So, but first little mud hole we come to. Pig tracks everywhere. So pig population this area looking good if you want to hunt pigs. We ain't 100 yards from the dang truck. So fresh stuff. Yeah, they've watered out a little bit. So you see them rounded toes. That's especially with the smaller feet. That's daggum pigs. And they done watered some holes out right here. Raccoon tracks stowed in there with it. So.
Good Lord, look.
But that ain't why we're walking back here. We're going back to here to look at the specific area. And when you walk in these places, or you doing drive around late summer scouting, especially if you can get on some dirt roads, stop and check any saddle or any edge on the road and just look for tracks, because you never know where you might find a big buck crossing that. So do that. Gotta start somewhere. So Kathy got her snake catching stick.
Yeah, see this? And I'm looking left and right.
Yeah, she's looking left and right for snakes. But the browse is crazy good. So we ought to have some big old racks this year. So looking forward to it. So
like a jungle.
It is like a jungle. But hey, when them acorns start falling, could be in the game. So more pig tracks. So but we're running a cut that they done this spring. And just want to look. Some people overlook like completely fresh cuts, but that's not always a good thing. Look at them, because you never know. It might supply you some kind of easy access to something, you know, especially when them acorns start dropping on the higher points first. You know, sometimes they're on one side of the mountain or the range of another, but when they start dropping, so you kind of look at all that stuff. So right now we're going to figure out where these trees are at. Don't see deer track. And kind of mark them, and then I'm going to look at them with binoculars and check. Right now this is just mainly pines. Pine, little secondary ridge right there that would be, you know, interesting to go look at, but we can tie that into this cutover area that we're trying to make it to, just to see, because those will pick up on them cuts quick. So anyway, we're gonna walk back here and look at it. All right, y'all, we start right here. Huge white oak right there. There's 1, 2, 3 more down there. I took my binoculars and I've eyeballed this one. They are acorns on this, so, you know, depending on what kind of hunt you're doing, I mean, you could come back, check this. I mean, you can walk this, you know, and hunt right here, basically. Or, you know, in early season, it's gonna be hot, so I'm kind of thinking there's a point right down there. Deer might be better on that point where it's cooler, and then come up to these acorns, because the majority of this is pines and they come sweet gums. You know, just a mixture of stuff that does not have any mass crops. So, you know, check it, come back, make sure. It could be hot. You can climb right here somewhere, anywhere, you know, or off to that side down there just a little bit. But it's something to look at. Easy walk, easy access. Don't overlook the simple stuff, especially early season. You know, if you can be one of the first couple ones to get back here, first few days, when that acorns start dropping, could be a daggum gold mine. So anyway, pigs are here, so you might contend with that unless they run some traps or something. So another thing to think about is pine beetles. It's pretty bad this year, so kind of pay attention to that. And they're not going to show up on some of your satellite imagery right now, because it's just, they don't update it that much. So look at that when you're driving. You can see them from the road a lot of places. So, or you just walk these quick logging roads out and just check, because they're all going to be on these hills. So anyway, we don't see any pine beetle damage right here, but there is a bunch of pines. So we're gonna walk on, see what we can find out. We're gonna mark these white oaks right here. Easy access. So hopefully you're not got too much of a glare that's right there with me. So anyway, let's keep walking. All right, I'm trying out my new media mods. I'm using the camera from the back, but as you can see, this cutover goes down this side of this hill. Over here, see my finger that way. Point goes down that way. That cutover wraps way on around. So big white oak right here, a white oak down there in that corner. So I'm looking at the onyx, there's a couple of secondary points that's right there. So, you know, this will be like a perfect early season gun hunt, you know, if you catch in here first, you know, if a doe's in here feeding us, because look how much that's already grown since the spring. A lot of natural browse, probably been a fawn or two raised in here this year. So we're gonna keep on walking around, but you're looking on these edges for white oaks, because they'll drop, you know, they got more sun during the summer, so they'll drop pretty fast and maybe produce more. So, and you can come up from an edge from down below and just catch them coming from that secondary point over that way. Also, you could come in from right here off the side of this road and just pop up, and you know, I might have to take it as an observation set. Much of the white oak right here in this front, if they're easing up as it gets dark, you know, they could come to that. You just got to kind of watch how your thermals are. So you might want to position, say on this side, when the thermals start dropping down, if they come up with thermals going that way, so you're gonna have a kind of a two-way drop. So, but this is thing, I mean, it's amazing how fast when they do an early cut. Like I say, this was cut during turkey season. So seen a few doe tracks kind of right there on the side. What'd you see, Rat? Hogs, deer tracks, raccoon tracks, hog tracks. So, anything else? No. Is it hot? It's hot. It's hot? It is hot. I don't know how good that medium mod camera is picking up from the front, because I got it set to the back, but she says it's hot. But anyway, this road up there past where she's sitting at, it goes on around where they've done some more cuttings. We're gonna walk at and look at that, but this is just one key interesting point. So, and we've, you know, the deer population in this area is kind of growing a little bit, so a doe could be set up in here, you know, raising her youngin, maybe 2. And if you're doe hunting, I mean, you might have a chance at a doe, but we're not specifically gonna be doing that as we usually are, because she's trying to get her a big buck, and that's what she's looking for. So we're just trying to find a big track early season, or maybe some historical big rubs, and kind of get an idea, then go from there. All right, we got back here as far as we're gonna go, but we got some good information. This cutover is huge in standards of this management area. So goes back 600, well, maybe 500 yards. But if you notice right there's a saddle and there's a point of pines that come out. Great place to look at a little bit later. Right now, you know, you're not gonna find any buck sign or anything, but you know, with them pines coming out, they can cross right there in that saddle. Then on the other end of that, there's a pine low spot that I'm gonna run my onyx out there, and we're gonna come in from on a different day from another road that I kind of know about, and kind of look at that and see if a trail's already been established, kind of skirting that. So, I mean, a great area, a great habitat improvement for this. I mean, a gun hunter's dream right here during the rut. I mean, so there's gonna be, when it gets pressure and stuff like that, this stuff is tall enough now that does are gonna be hanging out in it, especially when it's cold. Bucks are gonna be checking. So, cool spot, great habitat improvement, great amount of crazy browse. Some scattered white oaks around this, but it's gonna be more browse stuff, you know, and so you just gotta kind of watch that, because depending on how hard the winter is, it could knock that stuff down, they move, or make a slight adjustment. But in this area, there's plenty of other mass crop that's gonna happen. You're just gonna have to, you know, be at them spots. So we already documented 2 white oaks to look at later as they're dropping, coming back looking for busted hulls, you know, and maybe buck sign and droppings to get an idea. But this is just a new place that we're looking at since they cut it, and just getting an idea of what to come back here in about a month and a half when acorns start dropping, and you know, and maybe make a plan. So we're gonna go back to the truck now and drive on to a different area, and then see what else we can find. But like, again, we're just running, gunning today, driving, stopping, checking fresh cuts, some of the older cuts. Hopefully we'll get in another 1 or 2 more, and then get y'all some more stuff to talk about. But amazing habitat, again, something you got to have to have a good deer population, and you know, and just a variety of different kind of, you know, browse and stuff to go along with your mass crops. So this stuff, this stuff right here is so important, especially as it greened up early this year. So I mean, I'm probably gonna say this 5 times in this video, but racks ought to be nice this year. So, but anyway, we're looking forward to it. So let's go, move on down. Okay, we're coming back out, and you can see right here, you got 4 white oaks here, cut in a group. 2 or 3 more white oaks right there, and a thick point that goes that way and draw over here. So there's another white oak right there. So some on them, we can tell through the binoculars, got acorns on it. So this is gonna be one of them. I mean, if you're an acorn tree hunter, and we, you know, me and Kathy do it to an extent, and with this fresh cut road, you can, you know, right now with it being so hot, they might be pretty close, but they're probably gonna be off down there on that point some lower, then come up to feed these acorns, you know. So all you can do, I mean, you'll come back for Marquez, come back, spot check, find busted hulls, and maybe see if there's some rubs or something, but be very careful about how you do it. See all this thing, I mean, you got all kind of browse here, so it's just crazy thick, but it's just primed deer habitat, and it's not that much other stuff besides the cutover stuff. So when them acorns start dropping, deer love them, they're gonna come to them. So there's a couple different ways you could do this, but crap, you can hunt. I know people that hunt right on top of them. I mean, it's just right there. So I mean, if you want to do that, and I don't have no problem with doing it. If you're a dang tree stand climber, there's several climbers you can, or slick trees, poplar trees and stuff you can get into. I wouldn't mess with the pines with what poplars you got. But, and then as far as say a saddle or anything like that, you're gonna have to get back on the other side of the road over here probably, because there's more lower hanging, you know, back cover. So but anyway, it just, or unless you wanted to try to catch them coming from that way, you could ease down there. But you have to be careful. So I don't know if I wouldn't stay a little bit higher, you know, and try it in the morning. And in the evenings you could ease down a little bit, but you gotta be very careful because you don't know exactly where they're bedding at. So just kind of play that by ear. But you just gotta find the sign. That's to start with. So if the sign's there, then you can kind of get an idea. You look at these roads right here and just see if there's any tracks crossing. If ain't, then you know that you're coming from that way somewhere. So that gives you an idea, especially with this fresh road. So you can sneak in there a lot quieter than romping through the woods, you know, and just, you know, maybe a doe hunt, you know, but you never know about a bucket because early season again, you know, things, you might catch one by surprise, you know. Monster buck, maybe not, but anyway, a good buck, it could, because the way this lays out, you know, big cutovers is back there. The smaller cutover is right over here on the other side. So you can see that white oak that I was talking to them about earlier. So, and they can come across right here just going from cutover to cutover. So it's just a pretty good place to look at and kind of, you know, we're going to have it saved and just, and kind of keep that, you know, as a place to come back and check. We're going to do this for a couple more times over the next 2 or 3 weeks before we start getting real serious. But just marking a bunch of places like this, isolated white oaks and pines and crazy other hardwood stuff. Again, we ain't seen a red oak yet, just white oaks in isolated spots. So it's just them's kind of areas you can kind of sneak up on something and catch something, you know, so off guard, and then maybe have some luck. But you're going to beat, you might have to beat somebody here, but who knows? I mean, that could be done. It's just however you want to do it. That's why you have multiple places. So if you can get here first, get first access on them opening days, and you might have a shot. So what do you think, Rat?
That's good.
A little close to the truck.
A little promising. I like it. It's thick.
It is thick. So a lot of people don't. Some people just don't like the thick part of it, but that's what I mean.
Where them big ones at.
Yeah. So it ain't thick right here in this road. You know, that might be a little bit of a downfall, but that back there is thick. So I'm pretty dang sure if a buck or whatever's going to come, it's going to come up from either that little low spot and up, or just up that point off that side, come up. You know, just depends. It's awful dark back that way, so it's kind of cooler. So right early season, you kind of look at that. So anyway, we're on to the next spot.
We were walking out, and right here's a doe track, and right there's a hog track. Right there together. We ought to stay pretty close.
Which one's fresher?
Deer track.
Yep, deer track's a lot fresher. Pretty good sized doe track.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cool.
So there are deer here, right?
Oh yeah, there are deer here.
So,
But there's a lot of hogs here
a lot
too.
of hogs here. So
I'm gonna be whacking a lot of hogs.
you wouldn't shoot a hog, would you?
Oh yes, I would. And you told his head out.
And me told his head out. All right.
And the meat too.
And the meat too.
That way we have some hog sausage.
Yeah. There are a lot of hogs back here right now. So, what else? Anything else?
That looks like a little baby track.
It is.
Yep.
Little baby fawn track. Good eye there, Flossie. So,
I got the eye. I can see them.
she got the eye. She can see tracks and stuff. All right, we gotta hurry up and get back to the truck. We gotta find something else. It takes more time than we think we're out here doing this stuff, so it's kind of crazy, but just you get to walking, looking a little bit, you'll run through an hour and quick. So. Okay, we're at spot number 2. Pretty diverse place. This has got some cutover in it that's probably around 5 years old. Then on back that way is some that's 2 years old, maybe 3. Gotta be careful showing too much, but real diverse bunch of white oaks and stuff in this part. If you come right here, this is a cool, you know, these are places you look for you know, historical buck sign is these edges. When you run into edge, you know, you want to walk it and kind of look and see if you can find any old rubs, you know, associated maybe with these acorns. And then, because again, we're trying to do something early season, so we're gonna look at that. And then also, I always check all the corners, all the low spots that come into cutovers. And then, you know, going into the cutovers is nasty work. You know, probably want to do that post season, but we're just looking for places kind of early season that's easy access, you know, just to maybe catch a buck off guard or something early. So we're just spot checking that. But anyway, these cool little edges like this is where hardwoods and pines meet shorter pines. So, and we're gonna go around, follow this around. But cool area to look at for rubs and, you know, tracks. So she's seen a few deer tracks, but these edges, you know, somebody's thinned some of this stuff, but these edges right here are just cool transitions. You know, even does, any, you know, coyotes, whatever, they'll run these edges because it's above, you know, above a dang thick draw. So, and it looks like it goes around to probably a secondary point back there. But all these edges, kind of check them out. And if you find some kind of interesting sign that you want to hunt, you know, you can come up from that bottom and come up, you know, to hunt. You know, maybe catch a trail that's coming to this. But, you know, multiple ways to do this. You know, we're just running here off this road that you can find stuff quick. Then when you find some trees you want to look at when acorns are dropping, you just come back and you can come up from the bottom or something if you find anything that's historical that you want to look at. So, but this is nasty habitat right here. You know, might be a little hot for deer to be bedding in there, but I guarantee some does are raising babies in that. So, but it's just cool stuff. So we're gonna keep on looking. Look there. You never know what you find out in the woods. Look at that. Corn ain't been touched. Don't know, you know. Could be, you know, somebody doing that, but who knows? Might be a game warden or something doing it, trying to get pigs coming to it. I don't know, but it's kind of, they see what they're getting on camera, but kind of odd. But you see that hard edge back there, then this is like a saddle with a crazy edge. You know, sure, it's a good place to put corn, I guess, if that's what you want to do, but not really what we're looking for. So this is kind of a blown spot. I don't know. So, but I mean, kind of a wasteful walk back here because I don't want to be involved in anything like that. So anyway, but that thing, well, that's a cool edge right there now. There's a big old white oak right back there. So there's a white oak, another white oak. I mean, it's just very thick. I mean, it wouldn't have been a, you know, a bad place to look at, but, you know, we're going to skip it off because of that, so we're not going to worry about it. So, but
you would think with all these white oaks, they wouldn't even put out corn.
Well, just somebody trying to get, I don't know, somebody trying to get a picture for some reason. It's kind of a weird situation to me, but I don't know what it is. You know, it don't matter. I mean, it just is what it is. So we're going to go on. This is probably going to wrap this video up because we're 30 minutes or so from the truck now, and it's heading toward dark. We got to drive back. So, but what do you think?
It was interesting.
The first place looked, you know, pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do some more of these. You know, it ain't no week yet. So, but
maybe we can get a cooler day.
Yeah, it'd be nice for the cooler day. It's supposed to cool off this weekend a little bit, but I gotta go back to work. So, you know, we've been doing all these shows and stuff. So trying to get out and do any of that stuff has been tough. You know, regardless. But we don't do a whole lot of summer stuff anyway. But
no, it's too snaky.
Well, I ain't worried about no snakes, but she's worried about snakes. But it's just doing right, driving around doing these cut checks and cutover checks and stuff is cool, and then, you know, checking a few things out. Next month we'll get more serious about some other stuff and start making a more serious, you know, pre-season or early season plan. So Anyway, we're gonna wrap this video up. You know, hopefully it might have, I mean, y'all got a little bit out of it. It's not, wasn't a whole lot, but you know, cutovers, you know, and fresh cuts, whatever you want to call them, you know, check all of it. Check, because you'll be surprised how fast they grow back. Check the edges, check the L's, the corners, check the saddles, you know, any secondary points coming off of them and stuff. You know, just if you want to in-season scout, you know, it's not a bad idea, because does love cutovers, and he bucks too in places, you know, so they just, so they're great things to hunt. You know, I've not done a whole bunch of it, but you know, some of the places we go to has got a lot more cuts. So Sam R. Murphy and Freedom Hill specifically. So trying to play that a little bit more. But anyway, tell everybody goodbye there, Flossie.
Goodbye, everybody. Good luck this season and get a flat.
Hopefully I got the camera turned on the backside, so it kind of, hopefully you can hear her. But anyway, we're trying to get ready to get them flat. We're working on this, so looking forward to seeing y'all in the season. So all the ones that hunt in the places we go to, so y'all be safe.
And it'll be here before we know it.
It'll be here before we know it. So
because the summer's gone.
the summer is gone. So anyway, we'll see ya. Hey everybody, thank y'all for watching the videos. Well, again, we appreciate y'all's support. If you haven't liked, please like and subscribe. And don't care if you haven't got one of our books, check out Amazon and get a book. Also, we got a link on there where you can, on our YouTube channel, where you can go on. We got a little store set up, like if you're interested in any kind of merchandise, shirts and stuff, you can check that out. And we really appreciate anything like that. So again, we appreciate y'all's support. You know, keep watching. We're gonna keep trying to share the outdoors and how we do the things, and try to help everybody that we can enjoy the outdoors. And you know, we do this for just basically because of the environment and the community that's involved and built around hunting. So again, we appreciate y'all. Like, share, and we'll see y'all again. Bye.